What's up, YouTube? We back with another video. Um um it's been some shit. I ain't gonna lie, it's been a minute. But we're back with a different attitude, different motivation. And this video back, we gonna dive into a topic I want to talk about, and it's the NFL draft. Today we're gonna be diving into the Giants, you feel me? And I will say my team had a very, 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 very successful draft in my opinion. We closed some gaps, drafted some players we needed. And quite frankly, I will say this is actually going to be an interesting year to watch Giants football, and I'm actually pleased. So let's give a round of applause to the Giants, bro. Just give a round of applause to the Giants. Hey, so with the first pick, number three overall, we went Abdul Carter. Okay, dog, absolute dog. I'm not even gonna dog. What dog? What way do you explain Abdul Carter outside of saying dog? Certified dog. Like, I'm being quite frank with you. Certified dog. That's all I gotta say about him. Next, um, Jackson Dart, 25 overall pick. Traded back up in the first round to get him, and it's crazy because I have two friends that kept saying we would get Jackson Dart, and was it a believable statement to me? No, it wasn't that believable of a statement. But at the same time, you got to sit back and you got to listen, you got to observe, and you know truly figure out, right, what the key plan was when it came to drafting Jackson Dart. Okay, and the key plan was get you somebody that, in a sense, truly resembles what a Giants quarterback always looks like. One that's poised, one that's quiet, one that's head down in between the playbooks, and that's what you want. And quite frankly, we're gonna clap it up. We're gonna give it to New York Giants again for drafting Jackson Dart. I'm telling you, Jackson Dart potentially has a great chance to be a great franchise quarterback for the New York Football Giants. He had a pretty decent collegiate career, and you're sitting in a room with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. I mean, hey, sounds like a good deal to me. And there are a few speculations that Tommy DeVito asked to be released upon drafting a quarterback. Now, depending on when you see this video, maybe those things will be debunked. Maybe we will know what is true and what is not true by the time that you have this on your TV, your phone, your laptop, your iPad, wherever it may be that you watch this on. But I will say this real quick before we dive deeper into the draft of what the New York Giants did. Please hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Okay? Please do. Think we're at 251, if I'm not mistaken, and we are climbing. Our goal before the end of the year is at least 500 subscribers. That's what we want. For our year one goal is 500 subscribers. But back to the video. Okay, so with the third overall pick for the New York Giants in the third round, Darius Alexander out of Toledo. Now, I seen a few videos on X and Instagram and what his draft presser looks like, and the simple fact that he said that he likes to take the will of a player and send them back to their sideline, not knowing what to do with him. I mean, let's be honest here. That right there is the mindset you want. You pair him with Abdul Carter, you get Dexter Lawrence a break, especially with the fact that this D tackle is powerful. You give him a break, you can rotate him. Kevon Thibodeau is going to have to step it up. He's going to figure out his place on the team. I'm not going to lie. KT, I love you, buddy. I really do. So I really hope you come in and you work. But just know you have Abdul Carter that is literally a dog that is literally going to do whatever it takes to make sure he doesn't leave that field. You still got Bobby Okereke. You still got Brian Burns. You can't forget Spider-Man, bro. You put him on the other side. You got Spider-Man, and then you got Abdul Carter. Are we being for real here? The Giants are doing what the Giants have always done, and that's making sure their defensive line is the trenches. Okay? The trenches. You have to understand that when you look at the teams that won the Super Bowl for the Giants, believe it or not, it started with the defensive line. You got Michael Strahan, you got Justin Tuck, you got OC Umenyiora. Come on now. Those teams were a problem. We got my boy Scat Pack. Do y'all understand that? Do y'all understand that? We have Cam Scatterboo. Do you understand that two-headed monster that's coming out of that backfield now? Tyrone Tracy, dog. Nobody believed in him, but we did. Took him in the 4th round, I do believe. Last year, maybe 5th. Might have to fact check me and stat check me, but my man was 1,000-yard rusher last season. Now you add Scatterboo to the mix. Do you not understand the type of two-headed running game that if we can have, it'll be a problem. A lethal problem. A lethal problem. Now listen. We got Marcus Mbu. Don't know what the Giants are planning on doing, if they're going to leave him at a guard or if they're going to try to do another Evan Neal experience and make a guard a tackle. And it's not going to work. Let the man play his natural born position. Now, I understand his arms and wingspan may not be that strong, but if they've been beefing up the line like they say they have, shouldn't have a problem, right? That's just my thoughts and opinion. I could be wrong. I could be right. You never know. I'm just saying. But what do I know? Then we had 2 picks in the 7th round, which, in my opinion, I feel as though they were decent. Okay, we got Thomas Findone the second, tight end out of Nebraska. He's a decent blocking tight end. He really is. Now, my only question is he replacing somebody in our tight end room? Okay, is somebody in the tight end room, is it not? Like, what is the issue? What is his? Are you going to use him as a? Are you going to finesse him from his position? Is my true question that I'm asking. Are you going to leave him as a tight end, or are you going to try to make that tight end little slot? Are you going to do that, or are you going to use him as a lead blocker when it comes to this to our run plays? Are you going to leave him as a run blocker? Because I mean, as a run blocker, he's not bad. I'm not gonna lie, he's not bad. And then you got to think about it. He's 6'5", 243. So he can move. He can move, and he can move defenders. He has the strength to do so. But at the same time, he's also a very well established possession catcher. So on them 3rd and 4s, and you need a quick out, or you need a 5 and in, nice little dump off. And at the end of the day, you still have to keep in mind we have Russell Wilson. Now, granted, Russell Wilson is starting to step out of his prime, but if he can take the Pittsburgh Steelers to the playoffs, I substantially think he can take the New York Football Giants to the playoffs. That's my opinion. And for our last pick, we got Corey Black. He's a 6', 190 corner out of Oklahoma State. Now, my biggest takeaway from this pick is, who has Oklahoma State played? So, my thing is this. When you draft a 6 foot corner at 190, you go out and sign a corner. You sign a safety that can play corner. You have corners from last year that actually were fairly well. What is going to be his place? And does he make the team? You got to understand that corners are interchangeable. It is good to have a nice collection of corners on your roster. Okay. Because you never know. Because the health with corners, bro, health with corners get tricky. I'm not going to lie. The health with corners get tricky, right? So as I'm sitting back and I look at the grades, overall, I'd probably give us a B plus, maybe an A minus. And the reason why is because within the first 3 picks, you took care of crucial things that you needed. And then you added spice in the 4th round with adding Cam Scatterboo, which personally, I don't believe Cam Scatterboo should have fell this far. It was plenty teams that needed a running back. It was plenty teams that could have used his assistance. But the fact that you let him fall so far, see, this is the thing about gyms when you let them fall in the draft like this. When he takes that field and he cooks, there's going to be 31 other teams realizing the mistake that they made, leaving him on the board until the 4th round. But the complexity and understanding of that never hits franchises and never hits teams until it's too late. Anytime you add a running back to your team that can catch the ball out the backfield and that puts his head down and shoulders down and runs through somebody's chest, who doesn't want that on their team? Let's be quite frank. Who doesn't want that type of mentality on their team that they think they can run through anybody? I would want that on my team. I would want that on my team. And then just like I said with Darius Alexander, when you have a D tackle whose mindset is to make the offensive person they're going against feel soulless and to walk to their sideline questioning going out when it's the offense turn to be on the field, what to expect from him, that is a problem. And then you pair him with Dexter Lawrence, one of the top unstoppable forces from the D tackle spot in today's NFL. You add Abdul Carter to whatever edge side you want to because he's literally built like Micah Parsons. How do you prepare for this defense? Let's be quite frank. How do you prepare for this defense? Then you got Pablo Dublo. You got uh Javon Holland over top. How? You got Tay Banks. You got Trey Harris. I'm telling you right now, we have a top 10 defense. And it's and when it's going to strike, and when people are going to realize that we have a top 10 defense, it's going to be too late. My only thing and my only concern is how healthy will our offense be? How much has our offense improved? And how much hunger does the offensive side of the ball have? Because every season, year in and year out, from game 1 to game 17, the New York Football Giants defense is always hungry, and you don't have to second guess that. And that's not a spoiler. That's a fact. So my biggest takeaway from this draft as a whole is when you plug these players into their respective positions, how much of an impact is it going to make? Because I'm telling you right now, from the defensive line spot, I'd be concerned. from our running back spots, I'd be concerned. You still have Malik Neighbors. You still have Jalen Hyatt. You still have Darius Slayton. You still have Wan'Dale Robinson, who is the biggest X factor on the roster. How do you truly prepare for this Giants team this upcoming season? There's so many questions that need to be answered. And I truly don't think teams will be prepared because of the simple fact of what they know the Giants as, and the fact that we've been a laughing stock of the league for the last 5 years. Granted, we did go to the playoffs in the last 5 years and win the playoff game. But people still consider the Giants the laughing stock of the NFL. And it'll be okay. Because our time is coming, and all things come to people who wait patiently. Remember that. I'm gone.